Are we? Now we are.
We live, baby.
What's going on, guys? Welcome to the show. Today we're going to talk about a bunch of stuff.
Are we now?
Yeah.
Are we?
You have to adapt. You have to adapt. I don't know about you guys. You guys are professionals, but when I go fishing this time of year, I have a hard time getting the fish to bite. And that's been the story for me on Lake. Oh, God, there's that echo. When I go fishing here lately, it seems like I can't get the fish to bite. And I like to adapt. So Lake Norman hasn't always stocked hybrids. They just started stocking hybrids several years ago. They're completely different than stripers. These fish are deep. They're down in the thermocline. The water's cold. The water temps in the mid 40s. We've had a huge blast of cold fronts come through. The fish are deep. Everything is seems like everything is shut down. Threadfin shad are everywhere, but they're a shallow water bait fish. The hybrids, more than likely, the ones that are suspended between Hager and 150 are more than likely feeding on alewives or blueback herring. But I guess they could be feeding on threadfin as well, especially if they're coming up shallow enough to get to the threadfin, because the threadfin aren't out there in deep water. They're a tropical fish. Those are the ones that die off. But, just like any other species of fish, the smaller ones can tolerate more extreme water temps. And most of your threadfin that you have now are a lot of 1 to 3 inch size bait fish. Unfortunately, we have alewives, blueback herring, threadfin, gizzard shad. We got an extreme abundant amount of different species that make up our biomass on that lake, and everybody knows you can only have so much biomass in a lake. Unfortunately, ours are a lot of small hybrids. They're our most popular predatory fish.
Don't be laughing over there, Scott. Don't be laughing at our little small fish.
It's we don't stock that many because probably because of that biomass issue, but they seem to be doing well. How to catch them is the question. I've been coming up with a bunch of different theories. I've been kind of revisiting a lot of my old memories of how I used to fish for them years ago. But most of my fishing, when it came to hybrid fishing, was in the summertime. So I never targeted the hybrids in the winter. When you're targeting a striper in the winter, a lot of us striper fishermen, we like to swing for the fences. We go up into the shallow water and, we try to fish big gizzard shad. We try to catch big fish, but the majority of those fish aren't up in the backs of those creeks. They're not up in the areas like that feeding on those big giant gizzard shad. The fish that we're after can't eat a big gizzard shad. So they're out there eating threadfin and alewives. So match the hatch. You're not going to be pulling a big giant bait for hybrids. So I've been coming up with some different tactics, techniques, and I'm going to try. I talked to Shane Reel the other day, and we were talking about finding an area that you think the fish are going to come up and feed on, like flats. And I know we talked about it last week, but I'm trying to revisit this stuff since Pete wasn't on last week. Trying to find like humps, flats, points, anything that fish can use as an ambush point. You know how stripers, how line siders act when a bait school comes through, they start feeding on that bait. They're chasing that bait up on flats. They're chasing it up on humps. Anywhere they can ambush that bait. So would it not be a good? I'm going to mute you, Wes.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was talking to somebody.
No worries. I'll just mute you right quick. They're going to be trying to find places where they can ambush that bait, where the bait's going to run out of real estate. And what better place to be than hit your spot lock if you got it. If not, you can try anchoring or you can try drifting, and you can try to get those fish that are inevitably going to feed at some point. Scott was talking about last week how they have windows that they're going to feed. They may, first thing in the morning, they may feed. In the evening, they may feed. Throughout the afternoon.
Saying the word windows, but it's true.
They may feed. And the problem this time of year is not only are the fish schooled up, but the bait are also schooled up. So in the bait, when they do feed, there's plenty of bait. They are gorging themselves. They're getting full. So they're not going to eat all day long. They get full real quick. So you have to try to find a spot that you think they're going to feed or they could feed, and you just sit there and wait and suspend live bait. Now, that's something that that I haven't done in a long time is suspend live. The last time I suspended live bait was probably that I can remember was on Lake Hickory when my cousin and I had to jump out of the boat because somebody almost hit us. That's what we were doing that time on Lake Hickory. As we were anchored up in a channel bend, on the edge of a channel bend, and we had a hydroglow light out, and this was late fall, early winter, and we had marked some fish, and we were anchored up, and we actually were suspending live bait. And I think that could be a good tactic because you're waiting on the fish to come to you. Inevitably, they're going to feed. And just like anything else, you know, they're going to scatter when they feed. I know sometimes when you're catching bait and you're trying to throw a cast net in the back of a creek, just because you mark some bait, that doesn't mean you can't throw the cast net and catch 5 or 6 in your cast net. You don't have to throw it on top of the school that you're marking. You're going to pick up some, and I think that's what you're hoping to do whenever you're suspending with live bait. Do you think that's a good tactic, or do you think just pulling clothes hangers through them, trying to get a reaction strike would be better?
Well, I think you're doing exactly what I did in the last tournament. You're overanalyzing the hell out of this shit.
I think that's what you have to do. But not only do you have to overanalyze it, but you have to actually put some of this stuff to work. You know, I call it. Me and my cousin used to call it getting the ink out of your face. At some point, you have to stop taking the notes. You have to stop researching. Stop coming up with ideas, and every little idea that you think of, you write it down. Eventually, you got to go out on the water and you got to put some of this stuff to work and figure out what's going on, because they're going to change from day to day. Even if you're pre-fishing for a tournament, this time of year, just because something works today doesn't mean it's going to work tomorrow. So it's good to have, just like when you're fishing dock lights at night in the summer, it's good to have a bunch, because once you catch a couple fish off a dock light, the bite shuts off. And once the bite shuts off, you go to a different light. And then you have several. And by the time you come back around to the first dock light, they're biting again. And, you know, they usually come back and they start biting again within an hour. So I think that it's good to have a good game plan. It's good to go out and find several things that work. That way, if you get out there and one thing isn't working, you can go to something else. I don't know. It's tough.
Well, I mean, you're talking about hybrids, so.
But they're just like stripers. They do the same thing every year. They do the same things every year.
But I'm saying you got two choices. You pull live bait with down rods, or you pull artificials. The thing is, you're going to have to get on the water to know where these fish are and what time they're feeding.
That's right. It's a lot of hard work. You have to not only get out on the water, you have to get out on the water and stay on the water for hours and hours and hours.
This is where pre-fishing a couple of days comes into play, because
Daniel Skipper said, I'm sorry, Pete. Daniel, I just have to say this. Daniel Skipper said suspended live bait, shaking my head. What's wrong with that, Daniel?
Well, it's called down rods.
Okay. I'm sorry.
But it's where pre-fishing comes into play this time of year if you're fishing a tournament, because, you know, like we talk about Lake Norman all the time, at one spot in the lake, they might bite at 8 a.m., but they might not bite there at 2 p.m., you know, and somewhere else they'll bite at 2 p.m., but they won't bite at 8 p.m. or 8 a.m. So you got to kind of figure out what time is best at a certain creek, you know, and even a year near time and time again, that is indeed true on Norman.
I mean, when I fished a lake a lot, and I knew that the fish were only going to bite from 9 to 11 in a certain area. I was camping and I fished, and I knew 9 to 11 they were going to bite, and every day at 9 to 11 they'd bite for that week. I mean, it'll change the next week. But
what type of structure are they biting on though?
Well, when I was fishing, it was deep flats. It was like 45-foot flats near 80-foot channels. But
the thing about that is if they're biting on deep flats, if you go out there and you find that they're feeding, they got a couple different windows where they're feeding, and you're catching them on those deep water flats, they're probably feeding on deep water flats all over the entire lake. And that's good news, right? I
mean, yeah, the right ones. I mean, that I seen Skipper posted something real quick. He took it down, and that's when you're on a big school of hybrids, and you have you ever like chummed?
Yes.
Deep water chum?
I mean, I've never used a chum bag in freshwater. I think that's
no. That ain't what I'm talking about. I'm talking about like, say you're
silly, but I cut up pieces of bait, small pieces.
Say you're on a big school of fish and you're anchor locked and you've got down rods out and they're doing nothing. So you start cutting up herring, right?
Yes.
Start
yeah, I've
cutting
done
up
that.
herring, letting it float down.
Mhm,
Then you cut a herring and you hook it on a free line and you throw it over and you let it go down.
mhm. I've heard of guys using wiffle
You'll
ball
see,
bats.
you'll see if the fish are feeding on it or not, or if they're just letting it fall to the bottom. But yeah, you don't just have to sit there and down rod. There's other things you can do.
It seems like you're more likely to catch them on flat if you get a warm front in the winter.
Well, striper, yeah, hybrid. You should be able to catch hybrid over deep water if they're grouped up.
Except
I'm
a couple
just trying to
Saturdays
figure
ago
out-
between 7 and 12, right?
Well, I was telling that story, Pete. I was talking about the window, and I said we went to this spot pre-fish and never seen a boat. And then that morning, the sun came up. And we had like 10 boats around us, and I said, "Well, everybody's seen this group of fish." Well, we only gave it. I think we might have gave it an hour and a half, 2 hours. Then we started pulling that flat near it, and then we left. And I asked Pete, and he said at 2 o'clock that after he sat on. I guess you sat on them all day.
They're in the back of that cut right there nearby.
So they didn't do anything really active till like 2 o'clock that afternoon. He said they started feeding pretty good. That was the window.
That day, right? Yep.
Yeah.
I just can't. My only question is why put so much time and energy and gas and money and bait and to catch a 2-pound fish. Y'all remind me of a goddamn basser.
The wind.
Hell, y'all just going through that much more trouble, and hell, all a basser has to do is least he just cast and don't catch shit.
There ain't nothing like beating your buddies at a tournament. They can keep the trophy and the money.
Right? Especially on their home lake, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
I ain't done it in a long time, but I remember the feeling. But yeah, JR, I think you're giving these hybrid too much. You're thinking too much about these damn. Hybrid is, they feed a lot. They school. They usually,
That's the problem, Scott, is we're talking about a 35,000 acre lake. This isn't the springtime. The bait fish aren't getting up on docks and brush and shit and
no, I know,
and the fish aren't there and they're not, dumb and easy to catch. These fish are out in open water.
You should be able to pre-fish this lake 2 or 3 times and come up with a pattern.
So let me ask you this, JR, real quick. This time of year, do you think you'd be fishing deeper for the hybrids, or do you think you'd be fishing shallower, meaning up high in the water column or down deep?
I think that they're going to feed high in the water column.
And why?
They're going to feed high in the water column because, well, if they're keying in on threadfin, they're going to feed high in the water column because threadfin's like we were saying earlier, they're a tropical fish that's not good. They're not going to go deep. They're going to stay shallow.
Why? Hold on. Let me get to the point here. Okay. Why do you think those threadfins are shallow in open water?
Why are the threadfins shallow in open water?
Yes. On Lake Norman. We're at 80 foot of water and we're catching hybrids 5, 6, 8, 10 foot. I'm throwing numbers out. We're catching hybrids that shallow over 80 foot of water. Why? The water temperature is 47 degrees. Why?
Well, that's why you have a lot of die-offs. That's why you have a lot of threadfin shad that die.
So them fish are up there chasing the dead shad. So why are you going to want to, fish bigger baits or deeper or backs of pockets when they're keyed in on these smaller bait fish that are the size of one knuckle, pretty much floating on top of the water just about?
Well, you have to match the hatch.
Exactly.
Well, my thing is, if I was to go down there and fish a hybrid tournament and never fish a lake, I would pull 4 planer boards. I'd pull 2 free lines, and then I'd pull 2 down rods. And my down rods probably wouldn't be no deeper than 20 feet. And I would cover, kind of like what Peter's doing, but slower, I would be covering water. And some of my planer boards, I would have 1/4 ounce weights. Some I'd have no weight. And then if I notice all my 1/4 ounce planer boards are going off, then everything's going 1/4 ounce. If I notice my down rods were getting hit, I put 4 down rods out. Because you don't know if these fish are going to be hitting on the surface, if they're going to be hitting 20 feet, but they're going to be hitting bluebacks. I assume that's what you're going to be pulling.
Me? No, I'm going to be pulling crappy minnows.
Daniel Skipper wants to know.
They'll be dead. They'll be doing this.
Did
They're
y'all
the
get a-
toughest. They're the toughest bait fish out there.
Well, at least get shiners.
Wes is trying to talk.
All right, go ahead, Wes.
Oh no. Daniel Skipper had a question. Pete, did y'all get a definite date for the tournament? February the what?
Oh yeah, February 10th. That's wide
Daniel
open.
Skipper was wondering what day the tournament was. I don't know if he's interested in fishing
Yeah.
or not. Are you
February.
going up there, Scott?
What?
Don't come to North Carolina, Dan. You'll get your feelings hurt, man. They stock 1 million in y'all's lakes. 1 million.
Right.
1 million. You know how many they stock in our lake? The biggest lake in the state. Biggest lake in the state. How many they stock, Pete?
Like 325,000.
That's
it.
right. And they think they're being generous. They've
Yeah.
been
Well,
stocking
listen, hey, I'll tell you,
160,000 up
Hey,
till 2 years ago.
If anybody, there's a lot about Daniel Skipper I don't like, but if there's anybody can catch a fish on your lake, Daniel Skipper will catch that motherfucker. If he's in that water, Daniel Skipper will find a way to catch him. You got to give him that. I mean,
Absolutely.
Come
He's
on
a
up there and
turd
crank that splasher
Yeah,
up. We'll see what you got.
he what's up, Clinton? Daniel Skipper is a party fishing fool. That motherfucker, hey, he'll put 12. Daniel Skipper will have 12 goddamn trolling motors out there splashing water.
Oh, he'll have that splasher out.
Well, Skipper, please come on out, man. Be glad to have you. But one thing I'll tell you right now, these might be party fish, but these are some bougie ass party fish. All rules are off in this damn lake because
Hey,
it's
he'll have 38.
totally
He'll have
fucking
38
different, man.
fucking down rods and have Brady. He'll have Brady Milford running around the boat every 3 seconds, putting fresh bait on. Every kick.
right.
Yeah.
One thing about Lake Norman is there's no quality bait shop around at all. So you're
If
pretty much going to bring your own damn
Skipper
bait.
was to come up there and fish that tournament, boys, I'd have to put my money on Skipper. And any of y'all want to take that bet, just holler at me on the side, and we'll make something happen.
I'll get a bet going.
He'll have that splasher.
Hey, I'll bet. I ain't afraid to bet.
Yeah,
I'll
you bet.
be-
You can bet,
I'll-
Pete. You got to pay him.
Hey, if I lose,
Right.
hey, if I lose, I'll just do just what Scott did. Fuck it. I'll
Right.
get paid.
not fucking short playing. Yeah.
See ya.
Damn. Right.
Hey, you know, it's so funny that tournament. We did end up catching a hybrid there at the end, and we ended up going home. I was sitting on my couch drinking a bourbon, watching Wes's live feed. I was already at home, had the boat back then, everything. I'm like, damn, these son of bitches still sitting out there waiting to weigh in.
There's a reason why us guys that live around here in this area that I live in, there's a reason why we travel to Hartwell and Clark Hill to fill our freezers up. You guys aren't traveling here to fill y'all's freezers up.
Well, I mean, normally I'm not good at hybrid fishing because a hybrid to me is the same as the spot bass. It's an annoyance.
You're not gonna find, like in Georgia Little River, you're not gonna find a big long red clay bank with the exact geographical anomalies like you have on.
Oh, there's
Clark
one
Hill.
there. There's
You're
one
not
there.
gonna find that here.
There's one there. You just haven't found the right
No,
spot.
there's
There's a
not.
hunting hole on every lake, J.R.
There is not. I don't
There's
think.
a hunting hole on every lake. Peter probably knows where it is.
Well, I know where a bunch of honey holes are. I mean, you have to be a little more specific. I'm talking about for a hybrid tournament. You're not going to go find a honey hole.
hybrid tournament,
You're not going to find a honey hole in early February for hybrid.
Peter, shh.
a hybrid tournament is bobbing for apples. So what you need to find is a huge group
If
of
it's
people.
bobbing for apples, how come we had 50 boats and only 11 of them showed up with a fish last
Well, you
time?
probably had shitty ass weather conditions.
What do you think we're going to have this year, February the 10th?
Well, I
Think
mean,
it's
it
gonna
might be
tropical.
hell. Like Harville right now is on fire.
Harvey's
it's
not
just-
Lake Norman.
It just
It
depends.
might be blowing 30 miles an hour. Who knows?
Pete, I got a
Might
question
be.
for you.
What's up?
Seriously, is there any, and I'm not saying this being condescending or talking about y'all's regular ass lakes, but is there any reason that y'all didn't do this tournament on Hartwell since y'all like Hartwell so much, or is it just something for Norman?
It's something for Norman only.
Okay.
So when is this? February 10th.
February 10th. Yep.
I mean, you're liable to have good weather.
You never know. It's spotty every year. One year might be cold, and one year might be rain like hell. One year might be 70 degrees. Who knows?
What was it last year, Pete? What was the weather?
Last year, I say the high was like 38, blowing 20 miles an hour.
Yeah,
20. Yeah.
I mean, when it's blowing like that and you're trying to downride live bait, it's tough.
Yeah, I think when we got out there that morning, I think it was around 20 degrees.
But the thing is, when it's tough conditions, it's easier to win. If everybody's catching 5-pound hybrid, then you're going to have to just weed through it, you know.
Just give you guys perspective here on Lake Norman. A hybrid over 24 inches, so we'll say about 6 pounds, maybe bigger, 6 pounds. That's considered a nice one.
Here's my game plan. This is one part of my game plan. I'm gonna go find whatever you want to call structure, whether it be a flat, whether it be a point, whether it be a shoal. You know, Lake Norman's got some good shoal markers, especially in that area. There's a couple good ones. I'm gonna find me a good shoal marker. I'm gonna work my way up from wherever I'm gonna find, because I'm gonna find them suspended around 30 feet deep over 80 plus feet of water.
We'll splash all day.
I'm going to start working myself up shallow toward that shoal. Boom, 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 until I try to find them feeding. I'm going to work that area, and hopefully some bait will come through and they'll start feeding. Because you guys know as well as I do, if you get one to bite, that's that window you're going to catch a couple fish. Is whenever you catch one, you're probably going to catch at least one more.
The only thing I'd say against your plan, JR, is I don't think the hybrids, I mean, they do, but I don't think the hybrids use the flats as much as stripers do.
Well, it depends on
open water feed. I mean, that's why all your guys downrod fish. They're more of an open water.
Yeah.
Not saying you won't catch them up on the flat.
I'm saying that a flat, like you were talking about, a deep water flat, something of that transition, that ledge from that flat.
Well, that ledge,
water.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So Lake Norman, if you know the layout, I guess you don't know, it's pretty much a deep fucking hole, a deep ass river channel with not a lot of flats, and that's all Lake Norman is really. And with housing developments from top to bottom, not a lot of places that are undeveloped.
And you got major creeks coming into that.
A lot of major creeks, yes.
All right, well that's where you need to be, Jay.
They're all deep. They're all like 80, 70, 80 foot.
Rocky Creek by itself is the size of a lake.
Yeah.
But how about your secondary unpopular creeks? I mean, they're going to be in the mouth of them creeks.
There aren't many secondary creeks actually. It's just, these creeks are just generally a long arm that go from front to back with, some little meandering turns and such.
Now, what is a secondary creek? What do you mean by a secondary creek?
It's a creek off of Main
branches
Creek.
off of Main Creek.
Yeah.
Like a secondary point. It's the mouth of a secondary creek.
Well, if I was pre-fish, I'd go to the unpopular creeks that dump into the main creek, and that's where I'd look first.
Yep.
Because you don't want to get there tournament morning and have 45 boats right next to you.
How many of y'all got signed up as of now, Pete? Do you know?
We're all doing it at the ramp as of now.
I mean, you know how many? Oh, so you don't know how many will show up?
Usually it's anywhere from, I think the least we've had was 35, 32, and the most we've had was 55.
And what's the payout?
Unknown yet. It's 1,000 guaranteed first place, but it'll go up with the amount of entries.
Yeah,
and the entry fee is how much?
$100, and then there's going to be a big fish entry as well.
All right.
JR, Lee Huffman wanted me to fish it with him. Are you gonna fish it?
Yeah, I'm gonna fish it. I fish it every year.
So right there, dead center.
Weston inviting us out, JR.
Oh, Wes is always welcome on my boat. If you want to get on, you don't have to ask.
Lee Huffman wanted me to fish it with him, but I'll fish for JR if he's gonna fish it. If he don't have nobody.
Yeah, of course I'm gonna fish it. Right now I'm fishing with Spivey, but Spivey, I love you, man, but Spivey's talking all kind of crazy stuff. He's talking about Spivey's one of these guys. If you're not catching fish, man, he's like, man, we're doing something wrong. We got to do something different. He's extremely proactive, which is good. A lot of times, I think in this situation, it may not be, and he's wanting to fish. Right now, the plan's to half the tournament, half the day live bait, the other half the day artificial.
Zoom into the middle section of that lake, about middle ways.
150 right here.
I don't know.
Go down a little lower.
Here's
Go down.
Okay.
What's that pocket right there? Looks like the river turns hard to the right, and there's a big, like a little bay right there.
Right here?
No, right in the middle of the screen.
Right here.
Down.
Right here.
Go down.
Down.
Oh,
Right
there.
No.
Yeah, what is that?
What is that, Pete? Mountain Creek?
That is, that's marker 13 area.
Looks like the river takes a hard right turn right there at the mouth of it.
Yeah.
I'll go down lower. Yeah, that is a weird shaped lake.
Yeah. So this big creek right here that you see dead center of the screen,
Yeah,
Right
that
here.
huge
off
one.
to the right, that's the biggest
Davidson.
creek in the lake. And that creek can be 120, 135, not 110 foot deep, excuse me, 110. But there's absolutely nothing there. It's a deep fucking hole.
That creek's as big as the damn lake.
Yep.
Yeah, it's huge. This is the biggest lake in the state.
I like that spot up there in the middle where it curves to the right. What was it?
Right here?
No, where you were at. Or
Oh,
is it
right here, right here.
down,
Go
down,
down.
down, right there.
Right there.
Zoom in a little bit, JR. Zoom in.
Zoom in.
All right. So
Yeah.
point where the boat ramp is actually right there nearby. So the boat ramp we're using for the tournament is right. So
Well, I like that because that means everybody's going to launch and leave.
so
There
right
it is,
there,
right
there's your boat ramp right there on the top of the
That's,
screen.
that,
right?
that's where we're launching. Yeah, that's
Yep.
where the tournament is, Hager Creek.
I got you.
But we don't.
Well-
Me and Spivey don't put in there. Me and Spivey put in a little creek, and we shoot over to here.
Yeah. So Scott, just so you know, the area that you're talking about, that's actually a pretty popular spot, but size-wise, it's hit and miss, really. But yeah,
I am familiar with the 150 and up part of it.
I mean, hybrid wise, though, I mean, are you talking about a big fish, a 6 pounder, a little fish, a pound and a half? Hell, they're going to be running together, right?
no, actually, they seem to school by size class.
Really?
They really do. Yeah. Now, keep in mind also, this lake does have a size limit, and they got to be 20 inches.
Yep, that's new. It was 16.
Yeah.
20, that's a big hybrid.
Yeah. So they got to be 20 inches or bigger.
Here's where I put in. This is where I've always put in right here at Pinnacle Access area. I'll put in here, Scott, right here at the 150 bridge, and then I'll head north. I'll go upriver, and I'll start heading up lake. And you see this big island right here?
Mm-hmm.
You can go in between this island, but this is Stumpy Creek and Cornelius Creek. If you'll zoom out, Cornelius Creek kind of goes down, and then Stumpy kind of keeps going up. And then if you come on up around this island, keep on coming up. Right here's the mouth of Rocky, and this right here is Rocky Creek. And then you come on up here. There's power lines right here, and that's the mouth of Hicks Creek.
Oh, that's it. You already told me enough.
And then if you
Power
keep on
lines.
coming up, you see this
So
island right here?
go to the very back of Hicks Creek.
All right.
Go to the
if
very
you
back
go to
of Hicks Creek real quick.
if you go to the very back of Hicks Creek, you got a marina back here. Morning
That's not Hicks Creek.
Morning Star.
Next one over.
Wait a minute.
State Park. It's Hicks Creek.
This is Hicks Creek. Okay, I was on
Hicks
Rocky
Creek,
Creek.
yeah.
Yeah, here's Hicks Creek right here.
All right. So zoom in a little bit to that S turn.
Right here.
Zoom in. So 2 years back, up in the very top of this creek right here, that's where I won it right there. It was a dumb fluke because it was 44 degrees and then big fish were piled up in the back of that fucking creek. Right in
Yeah,
there.
a lot of your guides go up in Hicks. It's a
How
very
deep
popular creek.
is that creek?
About 40 foot right in there.
Hicks splits right here. You got a point right here, and then right here, I've always wanted to take a tiller steer boat and see if I can't go across this. Yeah, get wide open and then pull your motor up and try to go over top of that. It'd be a good, cool video.
Nice.
So zoom out real quick, like to the whole lake. Tell me where's the community hole?
Hicks
Right,
Creek is the community hole.
it is.
Okay.
Hicks Creek and Stumpy Creek is a community hole.
Yep, Stumpy Creek. If you go down here back to this big island, this is Stumpy Creek right here.
Yeah, that's community right there.
This is all community hole here.
Is that cold water fed? Is the water get colder?
See, that's the thing is all of this is cold water. In order to get warm water, you have to come back below 150, and then once you get below 150 and you hit about right in here, you start weeping the effects of the hot water discharge.
Yep.
So you're going to have a different water temp from here above 150 just to right here. It's probably going to be about 5 degrees difference.
So depending on your weather, like if you're having a thread fin die off or not, depends on if you want to be in that cold water or not.
Yes.
So
Well, I don't know. Maybe.
so
I know
guys-
you're going to mark a ton of fish up here, Scott. As you come up, you see these islands upriver up here.
Mhm.
All of these islands, in between these islands, if you follow this channel, this river channel that goes through here, you're gonna mark tons of fish, and you'll see a lot of guys pulling A rigs up through here on lead core. So
So
there's
let me
fish
tell you
up here. to be
boys a
caught.
little bit of a secret right here. And if you let me talk, I'm going to tell it. If not, I'm not going to tell it. Zoom into the S turn right there at the mouth of Rocky Creek. All right. Zoom the main lake right in the mouth of Rocky Creek.
Oh, the S turn where it turns. Okay.
Right here. Yep. Zoom in. So you're going to ride this area and it's
Oh,
going
there's 3 boats there right now.
right? Community hole, right? All right. So in the last 3 years, so I fished the area pretty hard. I used to, at least, until I had updated electronics. Okay. And so I rode this area and you're marking fish. You're like, damn, they're piled in here. But guess what? This is a wintering hole for long-nosed gar. You will mark the piss out of them, and I promise you, that's what's mostly right in this S turn every fucking winter. So keep that in the back of your mind.
Why do they stop gar? Everybody don't like them. They're trash fish.
They don't.
Why do they stop them?
They don't. They don't stock them.
Well, how do they just naturally appear in every lake in South Carolina, North Carolina?
Yeah, they reproduce. Yeah, I mean,
how do they get in there to begin with?
That's a good question.
They were in the rivers when they dammed it up, probably.
Yeah, just like any other fish. Like
I mean, they're native to our area.
How does a red ear sunfish or how do crappie? You know, I think all these fish, none of them are stocked. The only ones that are stocked are they did stock some F1 bass, but the only
I'd
other
like
fish
to see that.
I'd
like to see that lake on. I think I might do that. Look on at Navionics. That ain't a big lake. There's got to be some honey holes right in there.
There's some honey holes in there.
Does everybody usually go north this time of year?
You'll have some boats go north. The majority of your boats are okay from the access from the Hager Creek access. That main channel all the way up. That main channel it's gonna zigzag all the way up to the 150 bridge. You're gonna find loads of hybrids stacked up that will not.
But are they hybrids? Are they spots?
No, they're hybrids. Yeah, they're definitely hybrids because I've been out there and I've trolled on them all day, and you'll catch them. You'll catch one here, you'll catch one there. You go out there, if you fish 6 hours, some days this time of year, you may only catch two to 4 fish in like 6 to 8 hours time, and I mean that's fishing hard. That's pulling A rigs.
Scott and anyone else listening to the show, let me tell you all this, okay? It's not like Hartwell or Clark's Hill or any lake you fish at where you mark big schools of fish. Not at all. You're going to find wolf packs of 3, 5, 6 fish. That's it. They're not big schools at all. And those are the wolf packs you want to find because those are your bigger fish. Your smaller fish are going to be, in schools of, we'll say a couple dozen, but your big fish school and small little clusters of 5 and 6s, maybe a little more, maybe a little less, but you're not gonna have your screen blacked out with arches.
Is there a lot of trees, underwater trees?
Every time I go out there, I mark schools way bigger than 5 or 6 fish.
There's a couple of instances where you'll find some, some bigger schools maybe, but in general, you're gonna find small little wolf packs of fish. That's it. At least that's what I look for.
I'd be looking right around that boat ramp. I'm telling you.
That boat ramp is a very good area. I ain't gonna lie to you. This time of year, yes. But I'm gonna tell you one thing too. If you pre-fish this lake, you're gonna find fish day 1, you're gonna find fish day 2, and tournament day, gone.
Hey, hold on, AJR. Right where that makes that hard right turn. Go back in, zoom back in. Right where you are, zoom back. Is that 2 bridges and an island just kind of separates them? Is that an island there or is that land?
Yeah,
that's actually an island right there with a road.
But I mean, is that a bridge? Is that bridges going over?
Not a bridge. Not a bridge.
Nope. Yeah, that's all land.
That's not 2 bridges. That is
not a bridge. I'm telling you, it's not a bridge.
A road. I'm sorry, a road.
It's a land bridge.
Land bridge. Okay.
Yeah. And has that got rock along it? Riprap?
Yes.
Yeah, I see it. Yeah.
Looks pretty good. It looks pretty good to me.
It's very shallow. It's very shallow. This main channel is 80 plus. It's 80 plus foot deep, but as you get on over in here, it comes up very, very rapidly, and it's very shallow.
I mean, I'm not necessarily talking about right at the boat ramp, but like right down in this.
That legitimately. So that spot that you're talking about looks very good. You can literally put your boat in, drop your trolling motor, start fishing. That's how close it is.
Yeah.
But I'll say this: number 1 is community hole, and number 2, that area does get an influence from that warm water.
Right. I mean, it looks like it'd be fun. Maybe me and Skipper will fish it.
Hey, that'd be awesome, man. I wish I would. I would love to. Man, you wouldn't hear the end of it. I'd kick y'all's ass, and it would be.
I don't know. The way you're talking lately, I think you're in your own head right now.
Right?
No, I mean, I just need to get out there.
You need to
Fish
go to.
more.
You need to go back to basics. You're talking about all this.
That is basics.
You need one of. You need one of these, Jared. That's what you need right here.
Yeah, do it.
Oh,
And for anyone
segmented
watching
bait.
that's not familiar, by the way, so this lake does have some striper, but this is purely a hybrid only tournament. No striper will be accepted.
Oh, so you can't weigh in a striper?
cannot win a striper. That's correct.
Bullshit.
This is the way the
Okay, this is what you're gonna find. This was just this past weekend. You're gonna
Put
find a
your
lot.
phone down a little bit. Down. Down. All right, come in. Down. Down. In. What depth of water is that?
55.5 feet deep.
That's not hybrid.
Water temp 49 degrees.
It's not hybrid.
What makes you think it's not hybrid?
Look at the size of them.
It's hybrid.
Do you not have
It's hybrid.
do you not have
sent by a friend of a friend of a friend.
do you not have a down scan?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You need to use down scan.
So I'll tell you another thing about Lake Norman. A lot of times, if the fish drop below 40 feet, they won't bite.
They chilling. They chilling.
That's their shutdown mode right there.
There's another thing, JR. If you pull up on fish, and we seen this like that morning of the tournament, if you pull up on fish even with your trolling motor and you see them shooting down,
Yeah.
it's game over.
Hey, I'm telling you, that morning, man, it had me all sorts excited. I'm like, there they are, get ready, get ready, get ready. Fucking nothing.
Hey, Peter, did you see them rolling on the surface?
I did not.
Yeah, we were spotlight. They were rolling next to our boat. I was throwing free line herring out, just free lining them back.
Yeah.
The herring was sat there and just.
I mean, I was glad that we actually caught a fish right in front of your ass, but you know, when
I didn't see it, so it don't matter. I had rain dripping off the bill of my damn hoodie.
Your windshield's covered in frost. Yeah. That was a good time as always.
That was
So,
funny
did you
though.
ever get your liquor, Pete?
The
All right,
sun,
well, since we
the
got
sun
some
came
viewers-
up, and there's Pete and John. This big 56,000 acre lake, and these fucking North Carolina boys are all over me right at daylight.
Yet.
So did you ever get your liquor, Pete?
What's that?
Did you ever get your liquor? Did Scott Mill your liquor?
Fuck no.
I
Fuck
got
no.
it. I got it.
Here's the thing. He offered to Venmo me the liquor, or sorry, Venmo me the money for the liquor, but
No,
it's not the same because I want that shit handed to me in person by the man.
Well, I mean, one of us can fly an airplane, the other one has to drive. So
Right?
I thought he got you a bottle of Woodford Reserve.
That was last year.
That was last year. Okay.
here we go. Look, here we go.
Boone Farm.
Oh, hell, wild turkey. Okay.
No,
I'll do that.
but not wild turkey. Look, rare breed.
Gotcha.
That shit's.
Oh my goodness. That's we
That's
on the
fire.
same.
I'm gonna
On
get
the same
myself
page
a
with
bottle
that,
and
brother.
You got it for me. We'll call
So
it
next time I see you, if you're alive,
February 10th. Awesome. Nice.
we'll
All
do
right,
double
so-
or nothing.
So since we got some viewers here, I want to talk about what's going on with said tournament so far. So myself and Lee are in charge of the we'll call it the promotional side, I guess, of it. So we haven't figured out how we're going to distribute everything thus far as prize packaging and such. But as of right now, guaranteed first place $1,000. That's a given. We have trophies for first, second, and third. And some of this I have not announced yet on the Facebook page, but it's happening. We're going to have plaques for first, second, and third youth. $100 gift certificate for first, $75 for second youth, and $50 for third Academy gift card. We're We have a $100 gift certificate to a Bait on 8 tackle shop. We have $150 worth of gift certificates to the Striper shop in Kannapolis. We have another guaranteed $100, not $100 coming in from I forgot the name of the tackle shop there in the one that Cody runs. There's a $100 gift certificate there. And then we still have not have our hands on it yet, but we're promised $250 from Cast Fever, as well as some rods from them as well. And what else? A Bobo
Are you doing a lady angler?
A Bobo thumping box should be coming in.
Are you doing a lady angler?
We do have a lady angler. Yes, we have a sponsored $250 lady angler and a plaque involved with that as well.
I can see Heather and Scott and Daniel up there right now.
$250 cash. That's not been announced yet either. $250 cash for that as well.
Is all that? Is this check or cash?
All cash. All cash.
Oh,
All cash.
I like.
Hey,
This is not a 1099. No, sir.
Pete,
And last but not least, it hasn't been announced yet, but myself and Lee Huffman are sponsoring a little fun side pot. We won't even call it a side pot, but it is the biggest trash fish weigh-in, okay? And the trash fish is bass or perch only, not to include catfish or gar, none of that. So bass or perch, biggest bass or perch brought into a scale wins the trash fish plaque, and I think one of the gift certificates will be involved with a trash fish. No entry fee required. It's, you know, if you're in the tournament, you qualify for that.
Or if you guys did a $50 side pot, you could bring home a good lick.
No, sorry. We could, yeah, but we've noticed in years past that the more money, more problems. So
More cheating.
yeah. Well, you know, there's always that
Now,
chance.
again,
A lot of guys that fish the tournament, they live on the lake. So, you know, we don't want anything exponentially several $1,000s. We'd rather it be pretty even first, second, third. And I think we're actually at a point now with the prize and everything that we can do a 4th and 5th place with gift.
Sorry, are you and Lee like part of the tournament committee? Or?
Yes.
I got you.
So there's going to be 5 of us running this tournament to keep it fair and balanced.
I may go up there and fish it with Lee. He wanted me to come fish it with him. I may go fish it with him.
Might be too late. We'll see. But
Too late.
what else? I feel like I'm missing something else. But yeah, for the most part, that's really the gist of it right there. Every
Why is it too
youth
late?
that comes in, because I'm sure he's found someone by now.
Huh?
They let Wes sit on the front and go live.
Yeah, right.
Wait a minute. Hold on. I mean, you said it's probably too late. Why did I miss something?
Because he probably found someone by now.
Oh, okay. Good. I don't have to go.
I mean, how about JR's boat?
Yeah, you can go.
but he's going
And see
around.
what else. Let's see. I think that's
Yeah,
really about
What's
it.
the junior angler? The kids. What is it paying?
It's gift certificate to Academy Sports, $100 first, 75 second, and third place is 50.
Put me down for 100 for first place, and I'll Venmo you the money or do it through Zelle.
Okay. We can
For
do that
kids.
for sure. Absolutely.
All right.
So an extra
That's
100
awesome.
for first place. That is awesome.
Yeah, thank you, Wes.
Cool.
Put me down for an autograph picture.
Put you down for a what?
I'll take a picture and I'll autograph it and send it so they know what a striper fisherman is.
Shit.
First,
Not with that bald head.
Tell Lee I appreciate it. He hurt my feelings. Already sold me out.
Well, hey, it's not guaranteed. I told you that, but I talked to Lee a good little bit here last several days, and I think he might have found someone to fish, i.e., his wife, possibly.
yeah, well, he told me his wife was going to fish it with him. It'd be me, him, and his wife.
Ask him.
But hey, I really don't care about coming up.
Hey, Wes, I'll be honest with you. If Cody's supposed to be fishing with me. I cannot do it by myself this year for what's going on. And be honest with you, I don't even care to fish it this year because I'm so involved with it that I just, I'm having fun with everything involved with the tournament. So,
so can we use your boat and gear and go out while you stay back? And
I know, right? I should do that. No, but I will not fish this tournament by myself for what's at stake this year as far as me, doing the tournament. So if Cody can fish it with me, he says him and his son will fish it. But if something happens somewhere down the line, then I guess I will call you first, I guess.
No, I'm not sloppy sacket, so I'm good.
Damn. Okay. All right. I'll find a sloppy second. We'll have a good time.
All right.
But
Hey, no,
yeah.
I might come up for the weigh-in, though, sure enough. I don't give a fuck about getting out at 2 o'clock in the morning to freeze to death for a 2-pound fish for any amount of money. But I might
3-pound
come up
fish,
to the
3-pound,
weigh-in.
get it right.
Hey, there might. I need to find if I'm off that day.
And to be quite honest with you guys, I feel like
February 10th, do I
first
work?
place, and again, this is not official, but the way things are gearing up, the interest and everything. If let's just say we have a 40 boat field, which every year is pretty close to that. I'm gonna say first place might be bumped up a little more. It'll be 1,000, 1,250 roughly. Second place, 600. Third place, something. So.
Well, real quick, give us the rules. When do you got to be signed in by?
So we have not announced all that yet at all, but it's going to be a lines in time, 7 a.m. And I'm going to say lines out time, I think, is going to be, again, this is not official. This is what the rules were last year. I believe lines out were at 3 o'clock and at the no wake buoys by 3:30, I believe what it was.
And when you got to be registered by?
Okay, registered by 6:30 a.m.
Oh, so you're doing all of it at the ramp.
Correct. Yeah. Now, if you're in line and time lapses, then well, we get it. But what else? So someone asked, "Do you have to launch at Hager's?" The answer is no. You can launch at Little's Creek and run down to Hager's, but someone must check your live well prior to you leaving. So you can come out there, jump out, pay your entry fee, and then go in. Now, this lake is so big that like JR was saying, he puts in a different ramp that literally saves you 30 minutes of driving around the whole entire thing just to get there. So 30 minutes driving, or you can be there by boat in less than 5. So a lot of guys do that, and a lot of guys do live on that side of the lake, so it makes sense. And see what else.
Live weigh-in?
It's going to be 100% live weigh-in. Yeah, that's what we get into. 100% live weigh-in. All fish must be alive at the scales. And then, once you're done with them, you're welcome to keep them or release them. But one thing we emphasize this year is, we had a problem last year that's happening. If there's someone at the ramp that wants to take your fish, no. I mean, I understand it's your property, but we want to emphasize a live release. So why are you going to bring 4 fish in that are live and give them away to someone that's not part of the tournament, that's fishing or sitting on the bank with a plastic bag ready to take them?
For future, you should take property of the fish once they're weighed in.
We'd probably do that. Absolutely. For sure. And yeah, so there will be a big, I forgot to mention, by the way, Big Fish. Big Fish is going to be we haven't determined the entry fee. It probably won't be more than $50, I guess, for Big Fish. Winner take all situation.
Can the fisherman that wants to, like, say you got 20 guys that want to do their own little side pot for big fish, can they do that? Or is that?
Absolutely. You all keep it amongst yourselves. That's fine. Yeah, we're not going to be involved with that at all. The Big Fish is sponsored by Race City Roofing. Okay. So, the Hobbs brothers that fish the striped bass trail as well. They're sponsoring that. And I want to win that more than anything else because it's under the David Club Memorial aspect of the entire thing. So
is that one of the guys that we seen in the John boat up there when we were right out in front of
yes, that's them. Yep.
Yeah. Okay, same guy.
That's them. So it's sponsored by them, Race City Roofing. And they're
So,
pretty big.
So just like if you want to be in this tournament, you got to be at what ramp?
Hager's Creek boat ramp, or at least be there by boat at some point.
And you got to be there by what time?
We'll say 6:45. Again, all this is unofficial. We hadn't posted those official rules yet.
But just people might want to fish it, so they got to be at Hager Creek.
Correct.
I say 6:30.
Correct. There you go. Entry fee paid and live well check. There's gonna be 5 of us there, I think, running. I'm sure there might be 6.
Scott's gonna have the blue bean up there. You're gonna see the bean coming down the road. You're gonna be like, hell yeah, I knew he couldn't stand it.
I just found out I'm off that weekend, so
there you go. All right, awesome. Sit down.
Half gallon of BIB, Evan Williams.
What about it?
That's what I want.
This one. Oh, okay.
Hey, Peter,
I mean, it's so cheap. It's only $30 for half gallon. So you maybe get me 2 of them.
Hey, if y'all gonna go double or nothing on the liquor bet,
I absolutely will. Remember, this is my turf right here. So
all right, I'm in on that. Turf. I'm in on that.
What is illegal on that lake? You can use the back herrings.
Yeah.
You can have as many rods as you want in the boat.
No raw limit. That's correct. I will tell you this: that don't count on any tackle shop in the area because they all fucking suck around here. So come prepared because there's other than a fucking 7-Eleven gas station.
Scott's gonna have the best bait than everybody. He's gonna
Hey,
stop
can
by
you bring
LHOC.
Can you bring bait from South Carolina to North Carolina?
I guess you can. You can bring whatever you want. Yeah.
As long as they don't know about it. Is there a lie detector test?
Yeah.
There's no polygraph unless someone wants to, voluntarily fund it themselves. Which
Boy, I'm going to have some big ass hybrid in my 75 gallon when I show up.
Right?
Yeah. We're going to do a live oil check.
Hey, I'm gonna get four big Hartwell hybrids and tie them motherfuckers on a stringer right out there beside Hager Boat Ramp. When everybody leaves, we're gonna throw them in the live well and it's on.
Wes, I'm gonna tell you this right now. Don't be joking around with this group of guys here because they take shit fucking literal. Okay, so I'm gonna tell you that right now up front.
We're kidding, guys. If you're watching, we're kidding.
Seriously, what
if
about
I cheated, I wouldn't have skunked 2 years in a row. Like Garbo.
Is there a dead fish penalty, Pete?
No dead fish will be brought to scales. Period.
So what if they're not dead? They're not. What if they're as long as they're alive?
As long as like the gills are moving, something on the fin, whatever. Yeah. Yes, that's considered alive.
They're stiff as a board and bent sideways, and you can't straighten them out. Then they're
exactly. Now I will say this also that the trash fish, bass or perch, we will accept that alive. We'll accept that dead.
Oh, it'll be dead when you get it.
That's right.
I'll hit it in the head.
Those don't count toward anything, right?
No, there's no entry fee involved with that. You'll get a small little plaque. It's all in fun. Small little plaque, and you'll get a gift certificate somewhere.
So is it a spot bass lake or?
It is a spot bass lake. Yes, you will catch spot. I'm telling you right now, they will piss you off.
Yeah, there's a lot of spots in Lake Norman
fishing for them out there for sure.
A lot of them.
Especially those community holes you're talking about. Oh, you'll catch your fair share of them. As a matter of fact, they'll probably catch more herring than you wish.
Have a spot tournament.
No, there's one every damn weekend.
Everybody would show up with a limit.
I was just thinking while you were talking that, Pete, since you kind of like being involved in this, you should have an artificial only tournament. That'd be fun.
Nobody would catch any hybrids.
No, nobody wouldn't do it either.
What?
You might have 3 people in it.
Oh yeah, you mean trolling? Well, have an artificial tournament, but no trolling.
No,
see how many people show up.
Wes, I'm gonna tell you this. You're joking about it, but Lake Norman is mostly artificial lake. I would say, let's say 40 guys show up for the tournament. At least 30 will be trolling artificial.
And probably a good thing this time of year.
Yep.
You bringing the thumpers, yeah?
Spivey said that he just built one. Said he's got $38 in it.
I would use it.
Yeah, I mean, I imagine we're going to.
It's going to give you a headache. Bring some goodies powder, but it'll work.
Bump, 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 bump.
Bump, 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 bump.
Do you really think it'll work? I think it's.
Yeah.
I think it might be more placebo.
I think that
thumper or the splasher. Thumper or splasher.
Both of them work. I like the skipper put me on the splasher because it's less of a headache, but they both work.
I don't think they work personally as much in the wintertime as they do any other time of year.
No, not as much, but I don't think it hurts anything. Let's just say that. I know a lot of guys that pull planter boards with them. I mean, and do well in tournaments. So I know they don't scare the fish away.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, well, it's been a good solid hour, fellas.
Oh hell, here we go. We still got 7 minutes. It ain't even been an hour yet.
I mean, if y'all want to stay on a little longer, that's fine.
So what's your plan, JR? You got bait? You know where you're getting bait?
Well, I'm all over the thread fin right now. 1 to 3 inch thread fin with, if I throw the net 2 or 3 times, I'm gonna have about 800 thread fin between 1 and 3 inches, and
you
about
keep in the bait tank.
Maybe 3 to 5 good size thread fin. 4 to 6 inches.
Have you been able to keep them alive?
Well, no.
They're a tough bait fish.
The only time we've kept Spivey kept some. The only time we kept them, they were so small they went through the grate in the bottom of the Shad Shack and went all the way up into the standpipe, clogged everything, clogged the socks, clogged everything, and they died. But
So
How
let
can
me
you put something that small on a hook?
I don't think that you're going to be able to keep a little 3-inch thread fin alive. I just don't. What I'm planning on doing is bringing crappie minnows and some small shiners.
You need to make a run to Jamie and go, or no, Jamie don't have them. You need to make a run down here and get you a load of blue bags.
No,
So,
they're too big.
Let me
They're
tell
too
you all
big.
this. The last 3 years of this tournament, live baiters have mostly skunked.
Well,
That's
this might
not
be the
telling
last.
us anything. That's not telling us anything.
Just letting y'all know.
That's a very small sample.
Well, you just told me that you have a hard time getting bait. The bait shops suck. Most people aren't going to make a run for bait. I would spend a day making a run for bait if I was serious
you know,
winning this tournament.
If I was serious about winning this
this tournament,
tournament, I would drive to Lake Hartwell Outdoor Center.
That's what you
and
need to do.
I would pick through their herring and get the smallest ones they have.
I would just get. You telling me a 6-pound hybrid ain't going to eat the biggest damn herring in the tank? Shit.
What was big fish last year, Peter?
maybe 5.5, I think.
Tear up a herring. That
Yeah.
fucking 6-inch herring. Eat it.
Yeah.
But you do you.
You can catch them on Lake Norman, by the way. The herring.
Hey, we got Terry Caudle on here. Terry, what's the best way to target hybrid in the wintertime?
Well, in order to catch the alewives on Lake
Terry
Norman
Calder,
this time of year,
Daniel Skipper everything he knows.
you're going to have to put a light out at night, and you're going to have to go down to the warmest part on the lake, which is somewhere close to the hot water discharge, and you're going to have to stay out there all fucking night. And
Take an hour ride.
it's just not. It's not worth. It's
Take
so
an
much
hour
trouble.
ride. Load your bait tank. Take an hour ride back. It's 2 hours of your day.
That would be the best thing to do.
Stay warm.
I agree.
What was I going to say? Yeah. So as far as my game plan, I don't have a game plan at all. But I'll
You
take
know your game plan. You're gonna have bucktails, 5 rods. You're gonna have 2 bucktails on planer boards. You're gonna have 2 umbrella rigs on lead core, and you're gonna be
maybe.
pulling.
He's going to go out there. He's going to mark the fish. He's going to drop his downriggers down right on top of the fish, and he's going to.
No, he ain't gonna use downriggers. He's gonna be fishing the upper column of the
Oh,
water.
he's gonna have both downriggers working.
He ain't gonna have. I don't think he's gonna put a downrigger out.
I promise you.
If we,
line with 8-pound test line and 2-aught hooks, 4-inch thread fin, you'll win the tournament.
I watched.
Hey, that's you're all over it, West. I agree 100%.
I watched a video today called High Rock Stripers, starring Peter Malley.
Did you watch that really by that guy? Yeah, that one striper. That's all it was, right? Yeah. Yeah, but
I seen his whole technique, JR. He running planer boards and
every lake is different. Every lake is different, just so you know. But
Pete, you got the floor.
if we have one of these cold snaps before February 10th, I'm gonna tell y'all right now, y'all are fucked. But if it's you get this little warming trend like we have next couple of days, everyone might do pretty good.
It's gonna be warm. I feel it.
I hope so.
It's gonna be 60 freaking degrees next Thursday and Friday.
I hope so.
Hey,
It's going to be
getting
interesting.
off the subject a little fish here. Dieter, I don't know if y'all know, I think our video is going to be out Sunday morning. This coming Sunday. Y'all ought to watch it. He did a good job on that video. It was actually cool to get to fish with JR, and he was actually fishing. He didn't do much video, and Dieter was the camera guy this time. JR got to fish, so we got a day and a half fishing. We got 3 fish over 50 pounds, so that was a great trip either way.
I'm gonna check to see if my paint's drying. If my paint is drying, then I'll watch it.
Oh, ouch.
What's Clinton saying here? He says, "Can we leave Hager after check-in? My 6-gallon John boat can't run up and down the lake."
So he's wanting to check in at Hager, and then he's wanting to run to a different ramp.
That should be fine.
I think that's what he's saying. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that should be fine, I would think, in most tournaments. Yeah, once you check in, you can run by water or by road.
Yeah.
I thought we was talking about striper. How did we get off on hybrid?
I don't know. I kind of liked the little hybrid episode. It was good.
Yep.
This is gonna be what my goal for this year.
What you got that on? What is that? What kind of low profile baitcaster is that?
Okuma Citrix.
Oh,
I want to catch a striper on a glide bait.
what kind of rod you got it on there?
It's a Kuma Guy Select swim bait stick.
Did that come as a combo or you bought it separately?
Separately.
Nice.
I thought you didn't
Yeah.
like Okuma, Scott. I thought you was an Abu man.
I am, but Abu don't make no shit like that.
They make low profile. It's called the what is their low profile called? The
Well, this is
the R-
Revo.
this is like
Revo. Yeah,
Revo.
this is a huge low profile.
yeah. That's a big one. Yeah,
Like the Tranks. What is it? Shimano's got the one called the
Shimano's
Tranks,
got
right?
Yep. That's high dollar.
That's about a $700 reel.
Yeah.
That'll never happen. Yeah, if I had $2 million, I wouldn't pay $700 for a reel.
Hell, I've
Right.
got 3 reels in my building that cost over $700.
What if you had $2 billion?
I mean, what's the purpose?
Well, more
If I had
like
$2 billion, I'd make a
More
phone call and say, "Get my fucking boat ready." I want
I
to
just
bigger,
seen a
smoother
fif-
drag, more like
I just seen a 50-pounder caught on a 6500 and some
Well, I'm talking about for offshore
neon
for striper fishing.
fucking catfish rod.
I'm
So
not talking about for striper fishing.
winning. How about my biggest striper, my PB striper ever, fresh or salt, came on a 6500.
That's because that fish hit the damn prop. You didn't say but go cut in his ass before he hit the prop.
So he came in dead because he knew he was
Yeah.
behind the rod, right?
No, actually, I think that was my fish, wasn't it, Junior?
Was it your? Damn it!
Yeah.
I think it was. Yeah, I
Yeah,
think
it
I
was.
caught. I thought my biggest was on your freaking rod.
Yeah.
Oh well. Hey, that's my story. I'm sticking to it.
There you go.
It's close
been a
enough.
lot of big fish caught on 6500s.
Yeah, more trophy stripers have been caught on 6500 than
They
any
got
other
the-
reel.
Trashiest fucking drag of any reel out there.
Yep, West Striper had the prop slice. Yep.
So y'all killed that fish? Did he eat good?
Gator,
I mean,
Gator took a bunch of steaks home.
I've killed a lot of them, of those fish. And we used to keep them.
So did you let that one back that had that 8-inch gash in the side of it?
Mm-hmm.
Did y'all put the gash in it?
It wasn't that bad.
No.
No, he hit the prop. I believe 'cause I was trolling with the big motors because the way the wind was doing. we
Because
had
that was
wind.
definitely a fresh cut.
Yeah, I believe the prop hit him when it was.
Y'all should have
coming.
hit him with the gaff after that.
No, I don't want no fine. It don't make a damn what hits him. You get caught with that boat, with that fish in your boat, your ass go to jail. Up
So
there.
you can't keep any fish?
No,
Can't keep any
not after
stripers.
January.
Not after January 1st. Gotta protect
December
them.
10?
Yes.
Huh?
One.
What is the regulations for December?
One per
You can keep
person.
one fish, and I think it's slotted, and I'm not sure what that slot is up there.
They
Because I
changed-
definitely
they changed
keep
it.
one. I love them steaks out them 50-pounders, boy. Them things are that thick.
Back when we did it,
Boy,
it was
I'm gonna
2
tell you
per
that
person.
day.
Mm.
That day, me and Junior rode down there just to look that Wednesday. Dude, I ain't never seen 70-mile-an-hour winds and actually been out in it. I felt like I was Mike Seidel on a fucking Weather Channel. When them gusts came through there,
You mean Jim
I mean-
Cantori? Come on now.
whatever his name is, and the way the wind blows across your, I mean, it was just, dude, it was brutal wind blowing sand up in your face. I mean, we didn't stay out there but a minute.
Brutal.
56 pounds. Yeah, it's on 56, brother. Right there.
It's 46.
No, it's not. Look, Wes. Look at your hand, dude. Look, 44, 48, 50. That's 52 right there. 52. 52 right there.
Damn sure is. Okay. Good job.
A hair above 52.
We're going. No, I got to wait for JR to move his hand. I can't get a pitch. Good, buddy. You got what you need, Junior?
Yeah.
Hell of a fish. Did you see the belly on that fish?
Yeah.
What's this other video?
What was that?
I don't have no idea.
Hey, Pete. Hey, JR. Play the video where I'm rapping the digger.
I don't think I have that one on
Well,
here.
someone's getting bored here and clicking random videos now. It's time to go.
Yeah, what's John? You know what this is?
That's a gizzard shad.
No, it's not a good. You know what
It's a
kind of?
hybrid. That's
Huh?
a hybrid Slayer. You ought to bring that bad boy to Norman.
Well, it's a
Look at-
it's a swim bait. Oh,
at-
I know. Don't tell me it's a Berkeley.
Look at the hook come loose.
It's a Berkeley coal shad.
Ooh, you're so close.
It's the Berkeley coal shad is the rep. It's mimicking that. It's copying it. That is the
Oh, it's a Berkeley.
Oh, it is a Berkeley. It's not called a coal shad.
Mm.
But is it a magnet up in there?
No,
Okay. Well, there's another one that has a magnet.
There's a magnet in it. Yeah, I've seen those.
this has got a.
Mega bass.
This has got like a. Let me get it. Like a little hook keeper.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
What,
That's my
what's
new
that, what is that one called?
A Nessie.
Nessie. Okay.
Nessie.
I'm pulling it on. I'm pulling it on downriggers and leg core.
There you go. Do it.
Jason Falwell. I guess your nemesis.
Here you go, Wes.
You can't hear it.
I don't want to right now.
Wes, you get fired for a lip syncer.
Damn.
He wasn't lip syncing. It was actually on the radio. But I dubbed it.
I don't even know what song that is. What
that's
song
my
is it?
song.
Bad Boys by Sean.
That's that prison shit. I don't know nothing about that.
Right.
That it is.
Damn. Anyone else got any questions about the whole Lake Norman thing?
All right, so minimum 20-inch fish. How many you weigh in?
Only 4 brought to the scales. A 4 fish weigh-in.
4 fish weigh in. They have to be alive. 20-inch minimum. You have to be, you're going to release what time you got to be checked in by.
Again, they hadn't been official yet. You'll see the posting here at some point, but we're gonna say lines out 3 o'clock, checked in by 3:30, or at the no wake zone by 3:30.
How many boats did you have last year?
35, I think. That's more so due to shitty conditions.
So probably 40 boats.
I'm gonna say, honestly, I feel like it might be more so in the 50 range.
Easy money.
You think so? Lake
I know a
Norman
couple
will
guys that are
surprise you,
coming
man.
that didn't come last year. I know several boats that'll be
Yeah,
there this
same
year
here.
that wasn't there last
Lake
year.
Norman will shock the fuck out of you. I'm telling you, man. Don't
I'm
be
surprised.
chomping the bit, man. Because Lake Norman is one of those lakes where you find
But
fish.
it-
I
but
can't even catch a fish in Hartwell. I
She'll
know
also
I'm like that.
she'll also make you fall in love with her too.
Maybe.
Will Dale Jr. be out on his dock? Williamson? Is that
I'll
the
give him-
NASCAR lake?
I'll
It
give
is
him
the
a phone
NASCAR
call
lake.
real quick. I'll let him know.
Martin Truex Jr. There's a lot of NASCAR guys on that one.
Hell yeah. We ought to get one of them guys to come down to weigh in. You'd have 100 boats.
Right?
Was that
So
Copper or was that Riggs?
Who is the tournament director, and is he fishing the tournament?
So the actual director himself, I'm not going to say there's an official director, but it's going to be 4 of us running the whole entire thing. It's myself, Lee, Chuck, and KT. And
Can I
more
be the
than likely-
weighmaster?
More than likely, KT is going to be in the parking lot the whole entire tournament from the moment it starts to the moment it finishes.
Who's
And
the
how many
weighmaster?
years-
Pete?
Weighmaster?
I probably will weigh fishing.
So how long
Yeah,
is this?
let's bring Wes. Let Wes be the weighmaster.
Yeah, let me
How
be
long
the
has this
weighmaster.
tournament been going on? Couple.
This is year number 5, JR, maybe? Is that right?
This will only be the second year I fished it.
And
Yeah.
so who originally started it?
So the guy that originally started it, he is still the one running the entire thing. But unfortunately, things, one thing led to another. He may not be able to make it. That is why he gave it to us 5. Now, he actually gave it to me, and I said, I'm not doing this unless I get help, And, of course, the Lake Norman Circle, the OGs basically stepped in and said, absolutely. So that's why there's 5 of us involved. Now, he's still involved. It's not for sure yet that he may or may not come out, but his dad should be around. And his dad, who also is a part of the tournament, he's gone through a few health issues at the moment, but time will tell if he'll be able to come out there to nevertheless fish or come help. Now, he wanted that.
I got one more question. So you do live weigh-in.
Correct.
How do you guys organize this weigh-in where the fish aren't sitting in the bag for 10 minutes?
Normally it's pretty fast, and I'll be honest, Perry, if you want me to be honest with you, half these guys won't catch fish.
I got you.
This time of year, honestly.
So
They
do
leave
you
them in their
just-
live well, and then whenever it's
Well,
their
hey,
turn to
Pete,
weigh in, they
that's
go get them.
good. That's good to know. Letting them know on the fucking live broadcast, half of you ain't gonna catch fish.
I might not
Yeah,
catch
yeah,
fish.
yeah.
So, it's just like that. I mean, seriously, it's like that.
You just get in a line?
Yes.
The weigh-in is just a line? All right.
Yeah.
Watch the video. I got a video of it.
Well, I mean, that's stuff people that tournament fish want to know. I mean, they don't want to get there and then be looking around.
In the last 2 years, Perry, if memory serves me right, the longest line I think I remember is maybe 6 people in line at one time.
I think you could get a pretty good group from South Carolina to come. I mean, as long as they know what's going on.
I agree 100%. One thing we're going to do different this year versus years past is Trevor, the guy that started the tournament, he had a laptop there typing in the weights, and he would weigh the fish in one by one, okay, and enter each fish individually. This year is going to be big fish, all fish. We're not going to weigh in one by one. So that's just how we're going to do it.
Can I call the weights out? I want to do something if I drive all the way up there.
Absolutely. Yeah,
I'm coming. I'm down.
absolutely.
Now, don't sell me out like Lee did when I get up there and say
Yeah.
somebody else going to call the weights out.
Yeah. We hadn't figured out who's going to do what. One thing is for sure, I don't want to touch no damn money in the tournament. Problems always lie in that. But I'm actually the one that organized all the plaques and everything involved with that. So
Yeah, it sounds
I'll
like
definitely
fun.
come up. I'll come up.
Here you go, guys.
Riggs will be there too, by the way, just so you know.
Oh,
He's going to be my main partner.
Well, he can stay at the ramp with me.
Here is
No, he's
last
fishing with
year.
me.
No,
I don't
hey,
catch
Pete,
fish. I don't
No,
catch fish
seriously.
unless he comes with me.
Here's last year.
How'd y'all
guys.
do?
hey, if your buddy, if Josh don't fish with you, Pete, I will go with you. But I'll be up
Live
regardless.
bait.
Live
You're,
bait.
you're one of the few that
Two-
actually pulled live bait.
2 years ago.
I am.
2 years ago.
It worked
I
out
talked
well.
to Peter. Peter was on the sassy shad. Where'd you catch him on?
Herring and Elwha.
What kind of rods did you catch him on?
Big catfish.
It's all a fish. We caught 30 fish in an hour. I
Wow.
didn't catch the first fish till 12:41.
So
That
you're obviously
window
on a
there.
time of day bite, or
That window.
y'all just happened to be there when the school came.
I fished the same fish this morning, and we caught a crappie that was about 15 inches, and then we come back to them because I couldn't find nothing nowhere else. I said, we'll just go sit on them fish and see if they'll eat.
I think that's
Finally.
smart, man. You live and die by it.
65 foot of water.
Woo!
I like it. It reminds me of a Striper Kings tournament.
But more people, right?
Striper Kings, I have 35 people.
I saw the one from last week. We had like 11 boats. or-
Well, you never do in February, but you look at March, April, May. It's
Gotcha.
cool.
I tried to get Scott to do a tournament, like a Savannah River chain game tournament. He said, hell no. He don't want to go.
Damn.
I was a tournament.
He wants bitching.
I was the tournament, whatever they call them, for 2 years, and I'm good.
Yeah.
With Striper Kings.
Yeah,
All right, guys.
tournament director. Yeah.
I guess I'll see you February 10th.
Maybe.
Thanks
So
for
I'll
coming.
be there. I'm gonna
Thanks
come
for
up.
hanging out. Make sure you like and subscribe, and we'll see you next week on the Real Fisherman. Good night, guys.
Well, dude, good night, JR. You can go on to bed. We staying on.
I gotta get out too. I got work.
Man. Lord have mercy.
Are y'all going to stay on, Wes?
No,
I'll
Perry's
stay on
done-
only if Perry does.
I'll stay on for 10 minutes.
All right,
All
let's
right.
do it.
All right.
10 minutes.
Good night, guys. You guys have
Good
fun.
night.
We'll share some secrets about Lake Norman without
I
JR.
need some.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
So have you ever live bait hybrid fished?
Hybrid fish, no, man. But back in the day, I used to live bait all the time on Lake Norman. But when I guess it's really so obviously Lake Norman is not a big fish lake, you know. So a big striper, and it's not uncommon to catch 8, 9, 10-pound striper on Lake Norman. They're there, even bigger, but they're just so few and far between. The purpose of the hybrid only tournament is to have a even playing field for everyone, you know. So, you know, years past, we've had tournaments on Lake Norman where one guy brings in a 12-pound striper followed by a bunch of dinks. He wins it, you know. So a lot of guys get pissed off, discouraged, you know. And so now, you know, we're just, you know, 5 years back, decided to have a even playing field with the whole entire thing and make it a hybrid only.
So with that deep of water and that cold of water, what's the problem with the stripers? Just not enough bait fish?
It's more so summertime. You got a nuke plant on the south end of the lake, and it kind of causes that oxygen bubble to be dissolved on these drought years, I guess. You know, so they die off. They chase the herring down the bottom, the oxygen's gone, and they suffocate, I guess we'll call it. But yeah, the hybrids have been proven where they can bust through that bubble and not.
So yeah, I guess if I fished Norman in the wintertime, I would probably not be a live bait fisherman. Just from what you told me.
You could. So a lot of guys, you know, it depends on year to year, but, you know, I'm not going to bullshit or anything, but the last 3 years, the guys, Lee Huffman's about the only guy that actually caught fish on live bait. All the other guys, like the OGs of Lake Norman, they've all skunked the last 2 straight years in this tournament.
So Lee, he hasn't went to the artificial yet?
He has not. It's a confidence thing. You know, he's not confident in it yet, and so therefore he doesn't. The spot that you pointed to, that's definitely money for sure.
I mean, it looks good just by looking at the map.
Yeah, and, you know, as I've said, man, you know, the fish could be there for a day or two, gone like that. You know, so either that or they'll feed up for 2 days and then not feed for 2 days. So that's also a problem out there.
Well, that's like the fish we were fishing on. They were that morning of the tournament. They were there, but they were scattered. I don't know if you noticed the big groups that I had fished. Like they were scattered out. It was different that morning for sure.
Yeah, like I said, we tried everything, knocked them in the head with the A rig and everything. They wouldn't bite. I mean, we caught 2 fish literally. So we didn't even get our rods out. We caught our first fish, and then as we trolled in front of you, we caught our second fish. So I mean, it was nothing to be fucking excited about. We had 2 like 3.5-pound hybrids, you know, by like 7:45 a.m. So at least, you know, we're content with that for the time being, considering, you know, how shitty it was, you know. But yeah. So, but after that, man, we couldn't get a bite until about 11 o'clock that day.
You know that I don't know if you paid attention to that shoal marker that we were kind of hanging around.
Yep.
Thursday, we seen 2 big fish just munch shad right on that shoal marker. And we were running gizzard shad with like number 2 hooks.
Uh-huh.
And we had like 2 gizzard shad pulled off like right in that area. So, I mean,
so they were actually rolling there pretty good around 1 o'clock. I mean, John kept on calling me we had the VHF. So he hit me the VHF saying, man, we saw one big ass fish blow up over here, yada, yada. I'm like, they're there, you know, for sure. So, yeah.
Yeah, that flat right in there, you know, if you were there at the right time, there was big fish coming out of them trees. But
the bigger fish I found were wrapped around that point right just below that buoy that you were talking about there. But, you know, last year we caught some good fish, you know, 10, 11, 12, 13-pound fish. This year, that one hybrid on the tournament day, that's the biggest fish I've seen 3 days out there. So we didn't really catch any big fish pre-fishing at all. So we felt like, you know, for us at least, it was like, you know, we're not going to leave fish to chase fish like we did last year. So we're going to stick around this pile of fish, and I'm sure we can pick off, 8, 9-pound fish here and there maybe. But
I noticed most of all the big fish were caught during the rain before 8 o'clock.
Really?
Yeah. So once that weather pattern changed, and the wind settled down and the rain quit, I mean, you could pick up a little one here or there, but it was pretty much over with.
Really, that's when they started biting for me pretty good. So yeah, I don't know.
Are y'all big on the early morning bite in the winter time, or you think it's better in the afternoon?
I mean, it's day to day. Day to day. I mean, sometimes it's day, like sometimes at dark. I think a lot of that has to do with the pressure and the moon phase. I mean,
And that's exactly what I'm looking at right now. Moon phase.
Who was it was telling me, Pete, was that you when we were on the boat, or maybe it was somebody else I was fishing with one day, and it was daylight, but you could still see the moon. And he told me, he said, as soon as that moon goes down behind them trees, he said, as soon as that moon goes out of sight, these fish will turn on. About 2 hours later, we started catching fish.
I think that was me some time ago, or on Hartwell possibly.
I don't believe in a lot of stuff, but fronts, eastern wind, and moon, I believe in all of them. And we had an eastern wind. We didn't have a moon, but we had a front and an eastern wind that day.
What's the saying west is best? Why is it always? It still depends on where you're at, don't it?
I think most of the time your fronts come in on an eastern wind in the wintertime.
Oh, okay.
Like your western winds. Yeah, I mean, eastern wind sucks usually.
Yeah. So full moon is February 24th. So February 10th should be right there about mid phase. It shouldn't be an issue. I'll tell you this, by the way, about Lake Norman. And I wholeheartedly 100% live by this on Lake Norman. It is not an early bite lake at all.
Mm-hmm.
I would rather, let's say tournament time is at 7 a.m. I would rather ride the lake and find life and drop the first hook in the water by 8 a.m. than I would fish right away.
But we just heard Lee, which was live bait, and said he didn't have a fish in the boat till 12. So
yeah.
How many did he say he caught?
Well, he whacked him, but he was fishing on the bottom in 65 foot of water. But for every 10 fish he caught, one was measurable.
Yeah.
So
that's that guide stuff where you drop to the bottom and you give it 3 cranks.
that's exactly right. Yeah. That's a tournament I won, by the way, 2 years ago, fishing in the back of a creek. And for me that day, it was a morning bite. So I think I caught the first fish. I went through the back of that creek I was telling you about. I found them there for 2 straight days, and I went there first.
What's the name of that creek?
It was called Hicks Creek.
Oh, okay.
So when you talk about, when you say back of a creek, you're talking about trolling. So you're probably still talking.
It actually was the back of the creek, but keep in mind these creeks are carved out deep until the very end, pretty much. So I was in the back of that creek because I found a shad kill happening 2 days prior.
And did you caught your winning fish?
I went in there at 7 a.m. had lines in. 7:20, I had a triple, and they were all 23-inch fish or bigger. Spun back around, had a double. Only bites I had all fucking day.
So so you didn't do any good after the sun.
Zero. I think I caught a couple dinks, here and there. And I may have even caught a striper, I think. But yeah, those 5 fish came, bang, 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 and that was it. Those fish were gone.
You're talking about early bites, like I would say, like 8 out of 10 tournaments. Most of the guys, like when you talk to them at weigh-in, they've caught their big fish like within the first hour of the tournament.
Sounds about right. That's where pre-fishing, counts off, plays an effect there. But last year it was a good bite, sporadically all day, but by around 12:30, 1 o'clock, it just completely dropped off and nothing happened. So
have you ever seen anybody cut baiting Lake Norman?
Spring, yes. Now, no. Not to say it doesn't work, but I guess some guys may try it. I don't know. I think it might work, honestly.
I mean, I'm just curious. There's a lot of lakes where people just never cut bait,
Yeah, but again, this lake for the most part is one carved out deep fucking channel, and these points are not like your traditional Hartwell points. Like it's a slight point and then fucking drop off practically.
So you got a lot of ledges.
Yes, it's nothing but a ledge. Yes.
Sounds like our kiwi, don't it, Scott?
Yeah, Joe Cassie, Keeley. Yeah.
And there is no trees to worry about at all, other than the crappy brush pile. What else?
Like an amazing trolling lake.
Those spotted bass will fucking eat you alive, man. There's no doubt about it. They will eat you alive. And
Do they
The
get
shitty
close
thing is, a
under
lot of these
too?
spotted bass are about the size of my middle fucking finger too. So they will love your damn herring, boy. I tell you.
They will eat the herring as big as they are too. Yeah.
Exactly. We'll kill it and just not even pay no attention to it.
No, I would. If I don't have overtime, I wouldn't mind going up there. I don't know if I'd fish it, but I'd definitely like to go up there. I mean, I'd fish it if I could get there.
Yeah.
$100 entry. Don't know big fish yet. Probably 150 all in.
Probably, yeah. I'm gonna kind of lobby for $50 for big fish, or maybe even $25. I don't know, but we'll see how it goes. A lot of these guys, I guess we're live. I better not say it, but a lot of these guys are local to a lake, and they just, they retire guys fun fish, So
Mm-hmm. Well, cool. Sounds like it'd be fun.
yeah,
So you don't even know if you're fishing it.
I'm not 100% sure. I'm gonna try to, but again, I will not fish it by myself this year because of me being a part of the tournament. So it's best not to do that.
I mean, most do nowadays. I don't think it's that big a deal, but I get where you're coming from. Hey, I got a question. Why the hell do they cancel flights because there's ice on the airplane? Don't they de-ice them damn things? How long does that last?
It depends, man, but there's no holdover time for freezing rain or sleet. So if you have freezing rain or sleet, then the aircraft is grounded. Can't de-ice. You can, but you're wasting your time.
That was a random question, but I heard it on the radio today that they said they de-iced the plane, they taxied, then they canceled. So it was probably freezing rain, I guess.
Probably that, or I would say more so the crew timing out is my guess. If it's been an all-day thing, yeah.
I got you.
You gonna take Skipper up there and take their money, Perry?
If I do, I'll just be damn working rods. Skipper's got that hybrid stuff down to a
and a nice trophy. Team Molo 21.06, Peter, and his pup. That thing heavy, boy.
Thanks, Peter. You got that on the shelf?
Thank you, man. Molo.
I do, along with your liquor.
10-ounce fish. Yeah. There was 41 of us that wanted to do that, so No. Yeah, man.
Clean sweep.
What's this wind mean to you?
I guess it's
on the spot. It doesn't mean anything, honestly. It's just,
it's not really bragging rights per se, but it's just, all of us big group guys, we all compete against each other. We all talk crap amongst each other. And
it's definitely
just
bragging rights.
Next year, so
100%.
back again for next year and go from there.
So that year we had a TWT. So basically, it's a high roller side pot. And
Turn within a turn.
Kind of turned to it. Yeah.
Hey,
So
for what it's worth, South Carolina men's basketball, we just upset Kentucky 79-62, and Donald Trump just won his second primary in New Hampshire.
And Michigan are national champions.
Hey, man, it's gonna be a good year, ain't it, buddy?
Detroit's losing Sunday, right?
Yeah.
There's look on an A rig right there.
Yeah, boy.
Yes. What is JR posting pictures while he's offline?
I guess so. I guess he's listening, he's backstage. But
I
like
put
I said,
him on the stage, and
last year or 2 years ago, that tournament's 21 point something pounds. Second place was like 15. So yeah,
that's 4 fish, you said?
4 fish, yeah.
That's about right. About hybrid. 4 4-pounders. You're gonna be in the if you get 4 fish that are 4 pounds, you're gonna be looking pretty good.
If you bring 4 fish to the scales, period, you look pretty good. Seriously.
All right, Wes, where you at? I gotta get off here.
We out.
Now, what's the size limits? I mean, a fish has to be what? How much?
There's no slot. They gotta be 20 inches or bigger.
20 or bigger.
And that's a good size hybrid.
That is.
Yeah.
That is. You're going to catch a shit ton, like any lake with a size limit. You're going to catch a shit ton of fish that are like 19 3/4 for sure. Last year, I caught a couple fish that you'd swipe the tail and it was touching right at 20. And I'm like, for being a guy in this lake, I best not bring this damn to the fucking
Okay,
scales.
might be a dumb question. Are y'all measuring to the fork or to the end of the tail?
To the
Pinch the tail.
Pinch the tail,
Pinch the tail.
Pinch the tail. Mhm.
And the fish will be measured that way. And if it's, if it ain't blatantly obvious, we'll measure them there. But yeah, you got to pinch the tail. And you're going to, like I said, legitimately, you will catch some that are touching right at 20, and it is your discretion, weight or not. Now, as a director, and we're going to talk about this.
Well, I got a question real quick. Is the lake a 20-inch minimum?
Yes.
So if you bring a fish in under 20, you're breaking rules, you're disqualified.
Breaking the law. That's correct. Yeah. And we will make that point
Right.
that it is a disqualification if you bring one to the scales under 20. And
So you better make sure it's 20.
Correct. Yeah. Now we're going to discuss this, when we get together for a couple beers, and talk about what's to go. One thing I want to recommend is if someone's got one question, be like, hey, come down my boat here real quick. Can you check this fish? Will you accept it? Yes or no? Possibly we'll go with, that way without taking the boat out of the water. Does that make sense?
I would just tell them that if you bring a fish under 20 and we measure it, we're going to have 3 guys look at it. If 3 guys agree it's under 20, then you're disqualified.
Let me tell you another thing about Lake Norman. A lot of these guys that fish this lake do not know the difference between a hybrid and a striper.
Oh, Lord.
Yes.
There's a lot of people that fish our lakes that don't. It's sad.
There is a few guys that do not.
If you can't tell by the lines, look at the mouth. The mouth will tell the story.
I don't even look at the lines. I just hold the fish like this, and I'm like, it's a hybrid or striper.
Exactly. If it's pretty fucking broad, it's a hybrid, right? Yeah, exactly.
A 20-inch striper is going to be like a big blueback herring. A 20-inch hybrid.
Every year, someone has brought a striper to the scales, and we're like, nah, not a hybrid. Throw them back.
And the broken lines have zero to do with it.
Absolutely none. Yep.
Well, all I care about, I want to be the weighmaster. Other than that, I'm good. And
you can call the numbers out.
Yeah, and I'll bring you the money the day up. So I'm coming regardless. I'll be up there that morning, and I'll bring you cash.
Either or, you can Venmo it to me, which is actually preferred because that way I can have it in hand.
I don't have Venmo. I don't do nothing that the government can track my bank account no more.
I hear you.
What, you ain't got a bank account?
I said I don't do nothing that the government can track my bank account. None of their business how much money I got in the bank.
They know your bank account information.
Yeah, but I don't want to just advertise it, give them a reason to start checking. Now, if you do any transaction over $600 or up to, if you do 20 transactions, once you get over $600, it's automatically reported to the federal government when you send money through any money app now.
It's pretty true. But I'm telling you one thing about Venmo, by the way. You send the money and you put in the comments, thanks for dinner.
Yeah. Yeah.
Taxes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But I can Zelle it to you. Do you have Zelle?
I don't have Zelle now.
Well, I'll bring you cash. I mean, I'll make sure you get it.
Well, that's one thing, Pete, about Wes. He might be an asshole, but if he says he's going to bring you $100, he's going to bring you.
I know he's a man of his word. That's no doubt about it. I know he's a man of his word. So
yeah, that's one good thing.
That's the thing, though. So I
not
don't
like me, which I'll bet you some liquor and you won't get it. But like Wes, you'll get that $100.
Hey, Scott, I didn't mean to tell you out there. While I'm thinking about it, I talked to my lawyer. He said I don't need nothing about Social Security numbers. I just need your full names with your middle initials and your address.
Oh yeah, we're good with that. I'm at the car. We're good.
And he said, if something happens, they'll try to search you there. And if you moved or something and didn't notify the court, they'll just do a people search. He said probate would have a way to find you just in case. So, but I'm gonna when you get a chance tomorrow, text me y'all's full name and middle initials, and I'm gonna go do that probably Monday or Tuesday of next week. We'll be good.
That'll work.
I appreciate it, by the way.
What were you saying?
I'm sorry.
Oh, I don't know. I forgot. Oh, yeah. So there's only one company out there. So I like to have my hands on whatever before I make an announcement on that Facebook page, whatever, because that way I know it's guaranteed now. But there's only one company that is holding back, and take a wild fucking guess.
Bass Pro Shops.
No, I'm not. So the theme of this is local businesses. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Local businesses. Take a guess at the only company out there that is taking their sweet time getting back to us and whatever else.
Big Cat Fever.
Who?
Big Cat Fever.
Catch
yeah,
the fever.
Catch the fever.
or whatever it's called. Yeah.
Hey,
He's
if you
hard.
talk
He's
to
a
Caleb-
hard dude to pin down to anything. That's for
If
sure.
Caleb, if Caleb told you something, it's probably a fucking lie. You better talk to Tony Caton.
Well, Lee and Caleb are pretty tight. Myself and Shane are pretty tight as well. And so we're guaranteed something, but we keep on getting, we're waiting for this to get in stock. Oh, we're waiting for this to come in. Oh, we're waiting. So, it's just a waiting game. And a shop I went into yesterday to pick up some of these gift certificates, they said they've been waiting for 3 months already. So I'm like, okay, I see how this is going. So if it happens, great. If not, we're fine without, but it'd be nice to have them along.
Yeah. Well, this year, and I'm going to touch on this. Scott knows. I mean, and I don't think Scott realized I was going to do it. I messaged him, called him a bunch of crooked ass Christians, but I probably shouldn't have did it on, I didn't do it on Facebook, but when we went to the Striped Bass Challenge, Lori said, tell you, thank you by that thing you sent her.
Oh, yeah,
but anyway, we pay all this money. I'm in there with $200 fucking dollars. The year before last, I brought 25,000 pounds of fucking food and fed every goddamn crackhead in Anderson and got like 20 tickets because I thought they was going to get my pounds of food.
You got your
anyway,
ass,
so, I go in there with $200. I've spent $200 because I want a chance on winning a depth finder or a trolling motor. I don't give 3 fucks about a 5-gallon bucket and a goddamn $25 ugly stick rod. That's all that was up there. But they wait until right before the drawing, right before the drawing.
I remember that.
And say, hey, just want to let y'all know we're going to do a separate drawing for the good stuff. But I'm glad y'all spent all y'all's money on the shitty stuff.
You told me all about that.
And then try to put it on Bill Carson. I never cared for his punk ass anyway either. But, then they say, well, Bill decided to do this to raise more money. Well, why didn't Bill say something when he was up there running his fucking mouth to begin with?
Yeah.
Why didn't he say, when he had the floor, hey, we're not going to draw on this. If y'all want your money back, you need to go get your money back because we're not drawing for these big prizes. They didn't do that. That was just sorry as hell, and they knew what they were doing.
So I noticed up there, actually not myself, but someone pointed out, all the sponsors back there, and Catch the Fever was up there. Did we see anything Catch the Fever there at the raffle? Exactly. So we started talking about that, and a lot of guys apparently they were really fucking pissed off that their name is on there, but yet there's absolutely nothing.
I don't understand why these companies burn their own sales because they think we're dumb fishermen and we don't notice this shit. I mean, we notice who's supporting us.
Yeah.
I don't get it. Did you notice my decoration, Pete? I got Valentine's.
I did actually. I didn't mention anything about it, but yeah, a little early on that. I guess it's not early, but on time there. But you're pretty soft over there.
Michael Walker snap, dude. He was calling me on the way home. Make sure you like this post, share this post. What did you post? Listen, that was some of the sorriest shit I've ever seen in striper fishing. What they did at that tournament. On that raffle.
It'll show next year.
I will actually. I will say one good thing about it. These.
Oh, the oil.
Yeah, I got 5 gallons of oil that actually came in, so I'm pretty excited about that. Actually, I got my money's worth in my raffles now with that damn thing.
Shit, I bought $200 for them motherfuckers. I had to have Heather Perry to help me count them, and still didn't win shit.
You didn't get nothing? Yeah, well,
nothing.
I won a damn shit bucket. It came to one of those, and then no, 2 of those maybe I think, and then that little package thing that I gave your wife there, it came from one as well, so I kept that shit.
Yeah, I won the oil thing too, and people are bitching about it. But that's a pretty good deal.
Yeah,
we like that.
So the gift certificate was 1 gallon plus 1 I guess lower unit fluid, I guess.
Lower unit gear oil.
And so I called them. I got 4 tickets here. Can you give me 5 gallons of 4-stroke oil? Yeah, we could do that. So yeah, they hooked me up.
Yeah.
Flux, is that a brand of oil or is that just a company that sells oil?
I'll be honest with you, I have no idea.
Yeah,
they are a brand apparently I'm sure they're rebranded something else.
Yeah, they're local. They're local to South Carolina. I've used their stuff before. They're good. It's good stuff. I'm sure it's like you say, it's rebranded something else, but
yeah. I popped one of the gallon jugs open, and it looks like synthetic 4-stroke oil. So looks like good shit.
Yeah, some of the stuff was okay, but that ain't what 99% of those people. Listen, I'm telling you, If they knew that shit, they would not have bought tickets. They knew what was going on. And then the guy said, well, I'm sorry that there was a misunderstanding. I showed Scott the text. Wasn't no misunderstanding. Y'all just some crooked ass Christians. I said, y'all knew if y'all had said that shit to begin with, when nobody bought no tickets. He said, well, we can give you money back. I said, buddy, listen, y'all need that money more than I do. You need that money more than I do to do some shit like that. So I fucked the SBC. I am totally done with them motherfuckers.
My thing is, like, if you got a $3,000 or $4,000 trolling motor leaning up there where people can look at it before they go buy tickets, you should have a paper on it that says a separate raffle or something. Because I mean, in years past, we've had bait tanks and graphs and trolling motors, and that's what everybody expected. So to let people buy all the tickets, knowing they only could get some fish grippers and some 5-gallon buckets, it was.
That was
So in Santee, I put in $200, I guess. And you know how the end of every tournament, the very last prize is either a bait tank or a graph or something.
Yeah, something big.
This year at Santee, it was an electric guitar. I fucking want it. I'm like, so we joke around, me, Cody, John, and all. We're like, you know what? That should have been a fucking hummingbird or a fucking damn bait tank, but I got a fucking air guitar or not electric guitar out of it. But
and I totally understand if you lose sponsors, but you just got to let it be known. You can't tell people after they bought their tickets. But.
Yeah, and to be clear, if anyone was watching, I'm not complaining about the air guitar. I'm just saying the chances of that versus anything else.
Are you going to try to learn how to play it?
I actually gave it to a young kid.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah. So it got passed down.
That's good. All right, Wes. I got to work.
I'm done,
buddy.
All right.
Hey, tell Heather, I appreciate y'all doing that for me, Pete. It's been real. We'll see y'all next week on the Real Fisherman Show. Peace.
Have fun, guys.
Take care. Stay out of trouble.
Be
good.
Y'all be careful.